Welcome to World Conflicts. October 24, 1962. Caribbean Sea. 11:59 p.m. The submarine rocks violently. Death charges explode above B-59. American destroyers circle like sharks. The Soviet submarine has been submerged for hours. The air inside is poison. Temperature reaches 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Carbon dioxide levels approach fatal. Captain Valentin Savitsky screams at his officers, "We're going to blast them now. We will die, but we will sink them all." He orders the nuclear torpedo armed. One weapon, 10 to 15 kiloton yield, enough to vaporize the American carrier group above, enough to trigger World War III. Soviet naval regulations require unanimous agreement from 3 officers to launch nuclear weapons. Captain Savitsky agrees. Political officer Ivan Maslenikov agrees. But Vasily Arkhipov, the flotilla commander, refuses. For 30 minutes, he argues, pleads, insists they surface and await orders. Finally, Savitsky relents. B-59 surfaces. The Americans back off. The submarine returns to port. The world never knows how close it came. One man's refusal stands between civilization and nuclear holocaust. 63 years later, that same razor's edge defines global security. 3 nuclear superpowers, the United States, Russia, and China, possess approximately 11,236 warheads. About 2,100 remain on high operational alert, ready to launch within minutes, primed to end the world before breakfast. This is the story of the 3 powers that could extinguish human civilization faster than any plague, asteroid, or climate catastrophe. Not enemies, not allies. Just 3 nations locked in a balance of terror so delicate that one miscalculation, one rogue officer, one technical glitch could trigger extinction. The question isn't whether they have the power. The question is whether they'll keep refusing to use it. The United States, the architect of Armageddon. July 16, 1945. Alamondo, New Mexico, 5:29 a.m. The desert explodes. Light brighter than 1,000 suns. Heat that turns sand to glass. A mushroom cloud climbing 7 miles into the stratosphere. J. Robert Oppenheimer watches from 10 miles away. The physicist who built this weapon remembers a line from Hindu scripture. "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." 3 weeks later, Hiroshima burns. 3 days after that, Nagasaki vanishes. The nuclear age begins, and America owns it alone. But not for long. In 2025, the United States maintains approximately 5,177 nuclear warheads. About 3,700 are active. Roughly 1,770 are deployed and ready to launch. The rest sit in storage or await dismantlement. The numbers sound abstract, clinical, but each warhead represents tens or hundreds of kilotons of explosive force. The bomb that destroyed Hiroshima, killing 70,000 instantly, measured 15 kilotons. Modern American thermonuclear weapons measure up to 1,200 kilotons. 80 times more powerful. The United States operates a nuclear triad: land, sea, and air. Each leg serves a purpose. Each leg ensures that no first strike, no matter how comprehensive, could prevent American retaliation. On land, 450 Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missiles sit in hardened silos across Montana, North Dakota, and Wyoming. Each missile can carry up to 3 warheads. Range 8,000 miles. Flight time to Moscow 30 minutes. These missiles represent the most vulnerable leg of the triad, fixed targets that adversaries could theoretically destroy in a first strike. But their presence forces any attacker to use hundreds of warheads just to target them, complicating strike calculations. At sea, 14 Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines prowl the oceans. 8 operate from Bangor, Washington, 6 from Kings Bay, Georgia. Each submarine carries 20 Trident II D5 missiles. Each missile carries up to 8 warheads. That's 2,240 warheads across the fleet. But only 10 submarines patrol at any time, with the rest in maintenance or transit. The submarines represent the most survivable leg. They hide in millions of square miles of ocean. They can launch from anywhere. They ensure retaliation even if America's entire land-based arsenal is destroyed. In the air, 66 B-52H and 20 B-2 bombers can carry nuclear weapons. The B-52, first deployed in 1955, remains operational 70 years later. Each can carry 20 nuclear-armed cruise missiles. The B-2 stealth bomber carries gravity bombs. A new B-21 Raider bomber enters service in the late 2020s, designed to penetrate advanced air defenses. Bombers represent the most flexible leg. They can be recalled. They provide visible deterrence during crises. They offer presidents options between capitulation and Armageddon. But the triad faces unprecedented challenges. The Minuteman III dates to 1970. Replacement, the Sentinel ICM, has triggered a 37% cost overrun, now projected to exceed $140 billion. The first Columbia-class submarine to replace the aging Ohio fleet passed 50% construction in 2024. But costs have ballooned to 5 times Navy estimates. The B-21 one-year bomber program remains classified, but delays are inevitable. Meanwhile, the warheads themselves require constant maintenance. Plutonium cores age, electronics degrade. Tritium, essential for boosting yields, decays with a 12-year half-life, requiring continuous production. The United States maintains only 2 facilities capable of producing plutonium pits: Los Alamos and Savannah River. Combined production capacity, 80 pits per year by 2030. Required capacity, at least 80 pits per year, indefinitely. The Congressional Budget Office estimates nuclear modernization will cost $946 billion over the next decade. That's $95 billion annually, more than the entire NASA budget. It doesn't include potential expansion if arms control collapses. The NSTART treaty with Russia expires February 5, 2026. No successor agreement exists. Without NSTART limits, Russia could upload hundreds of reserve warheads onto existing launchers within weeks. The United States could do the same. The fragile arms control architecture built over 50 years would collapse. And China's expansion changes everything. For decades, American nuclear strategy focused on Russia. Now the Pentagon must deter two near-peer nuclear powers simultaneously. President Biden's 2024 Nuclear Posture Review acknowledged this reality, directing the military to continuously evaluate whether adjustments should be made to force size and